What's going on, everybody? My name is John Doe. Just kidding, it's not, it's Brandon, and we are going to be breaking down the scenes and effects that went into the making of our latest film, I Want Your Ice Cream. In our latest video, Nathan tried to take Brandon's ice cream and he wasn't having it. Now this breakdown will ruin the video for you if you haven't already seen it. So click right here to watch it and then come back because we'll be here waiting for you the whole time. So let's jump into our props and gear. For this video, all we really needed to use were a couple of actors, a box of ice cream, and, well, actually it was a couple boxes of ice cream because we really like ice cream. For this video, we wanted to emphasize how hot the weather was, so the entire thing was shot outside in the park at about 11 a.m., and we were able to wash out the whites to make them kind of like glow, and it looked a lot better than it actually looked outside, so that was really neat. But as you can see, at around 19 seconds, we went ahead and changed the color grading style to make it feel more of like a action-y kind of, more contrast kind of feel, and that really helped emphasize the intensity of the project. Although we wrote a script for the video, most of it changed completely, and everything was shot kind of as an improvisation kind of way. We didn't really have any planned shots. Up next, we have our bullet holes and real-time muzzle flashes. We cannot thank Video Copilot enough for creating the Action Essentials pack and allowing small groups like us to create fairly realistic-looking shots at a realistic price for what it is. If you want to check it out on their site, you can click the link right below me, and you can decide if you want to purchase it yourself. Every one of our bullet holes, sparks, smoke effects, and muzzle flashes were all from this pack, so it definitely would not be possible without it. What we did is bring in one of the effects, for example the muzzle flash, into Premiere, dropped it over our first layer, and made it into a 3D layer. Next we placed it over the barrel of the gun on the first frame that the trigger was pulled. Then we rotated it to match the angle of the gun and added a gunshot sound effect, and that really kind of gave it, a realistic vibe. We also did the exact same steps with the ricochets and the bullets hitting the metal. That we just took a different picture from the Action Essentials pack, added a spark to it, and then added a metal ting, and that made it sound like it was actually hitting the metal. Up next, we are going to have Brian show you the slow motion effects to our slow motion gunshot, but in the meantime,
so for the slow motion shot we did, one of the most important and key plugins we used was Twixtor. You can get that off of Red Giant's website. It's fairly cheap. But that wasn't all we used. One of the first things we did was we set the camera to shoot at 24 frames per second instead of 30 frames per second because that gave us a lot more frames to play with and a lot more frames for Twixtor to blend together to make it look smooth. For the special effects of the slow motion muzzle flash, what we did is we took still shots of muzzle flashes from the Action Essentials pack and we placed them one frame at a time, smaller to bigger, and then actually used a real muzzle flash clip at the end and used Twixtor to slow that down to about 40% normal speed as well, just to give it like a lot more prolonged muzzle flash, because most muzzle flashes on video are just a frame or maybe 2 frames long. Ours is a lot longer than that, and that's on purpose. Also what we did is we took smoke from Action Essentials and added that additionally to the muzzle flash smoke that's already there, just to give it a lot more of an effect because you're watching it in slow motion, so we wanted to add as much detail as we possibly could to the scene. Then, the next part becomes Element 3D, one of the best 3D plugins I've ever seen used. That is a 3D particle-based rendering object tool for After Effects, created by Video Copilot as well, but they have a lot of projectiles and airplane packs, and we use the projectile pack for this one. We were able to get a realistic 9mm shell and a 9mm bullet. So we have the shell eject out of the top of it, just spinning it, like we just moved it over here and spun it like crazy, make it look like it's moving. And then for the bullet, it just comes out of the barrel like normal. But once it's slow motion, we wanted to mimic slow motion as much as possible, as close as we possibly could. And then also, for the bullet, we used Particular to create like a smoke cloud coming off of the back of the bullet. All these things are unrealistic, and you probably never see these things ever in real life, but they made it look really good, and that's all that really matters anyways. Realism is not important. Lastly, there's a little extra on each bullet and all the bullet hits. We added a shockwave kind of effect to make it look more stylized and fancy and unique to us. And there's a guy on YouTube, check him out here, he has an amazing tutorial on how he did this effect, and we just followed his thing step by step, but he would be able to explain that a lot better than I would be able to explain it, so I recommend you go watch his video. And of course, give him a like or two, subscribe to him, but more importantly, Thanks for watching our videos, and please subscribe to our channel. If you have any suggestions, please post them in the comments, because we are extremely open to constructive criticism and we take things very seriously. So if you have any recommendations, please send those to us too. We'll be more than happy to look over them and give you our feedback, hopefully in another video. Thanks for watching.